For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson. In the midst of promoting her new book, I Curse You With Joy, a collection of essays written by Tiffany Haddish, the comedian is also ruffling feathers. The controversy comes after a recent performance in LA as part of the Netflix is a Joke festival. During her set, the comedian appeared to disparage college campus protesters across the country who are speaking out against the war in the Middle East. A clip from the Jasmine brand showcases Haddish telling the audience that she doesn't care about the college protesters and would compare this latest war to 9/11.
Colleges, right? I don't give a fuck about that shit. I've never went to college. Why would I care? Boo to college? Or boo that I've never went? Or boo that I don't give a fuck about the college? Why should I give a fuck about the college? There's not genocide at the college. I give a fuck about what's going on the other side of the world, but why would I give a fuck about the college?
Now, this rant comes several months after Haddish took a trip to Israel herself in order to learn more about the ongoing tragedy. On Monday, TMZ would catch up with Haddish where she elaborated on her comments and would even offer up a possible solution. Of course, many didn't take Haddish's commentary too kindly. Several would voice their opinions and frustrations on Twitter and Instagram. One online user would post, "The crowd was booing her. She pulled out a Star of David necklace even." That same user would go on to say, "Tiffany Haddish at the Netflix is a Joke fest last night. This bee outed herself as a full-on Zionist and went on an effing Israel propaganda speech talking about F them colleges. We need to stop hurting the police. Hello." Another online user would say, "Some of us are capable of caring about multiple issues at the same time. I can be concerned with college students and their well-being exercising their right of freedom of speech and be concerned about the genocide in another country." Today joining us is our very own Danielle Miller and Marcus Board to talk more about this. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Colleges, right? I don't give a fuck about that shit. I've never went to college. Why would I care? Boo to college? Or boo that I've never went? Or boo that I don't give a fuck about the college? Why should I give a fuck about the college? There's not genocide at the college. I give a fuck about what's going on the other side of the world, but why would I give a fuck about the college? Because Africa is working at the college? Shut the fuck up. This is the shit I'm talking about. Stupid motherfuckers at the college. Ain't never worked a goddamn day in your life. Do you remember 9/11, bitch? We were under attack. 11 terrorists blew our shit up. 3,000 people dead. What the fuck did we do, America? Do y'all remember what we did? If you're from the 1900s, you remember. We went the fuck over there. We fucked they ass up. I went over there. I flew on a plane. I went over there and did comedy for the troops. I did do that. I did comedy for our American troops.
Well, first and foremost, thank you both for joining me on this topic as there are a lot of layers. So I'm happy to have you both here to speak to it. Danielle, let me start with you first. After seeing this clip, what was your reaction to Tiffany Haddish?
It's Tiffany Haddish. I mean, when certain people do certain things, it's like not shocking to me. Tiffany Haddish has always been loud. I mean, that's a bad connotation. She's always been vocal and she's always said what's on her mind, and so much to the extent whereas the roles that she plays even mimic that, her natural personality. Also, too, Marlon Wayans even spoke about her not getting certain jobs with him because she was so outspoken and loud and boisterous. So literally when I saw it, I was just like, okay, this is Tiffany Haddish.
Marcus, so happy to have you here. Again, it's been a long time, too long, if you ask me. But of course, anytime we need, expert insight, man, you're the person to call. So thank you for joining me on this. After seeing this clip, what was your initial reaction to Tiffany Haddish?
Yeah, I love being here. I thought that shit wasn't funny. So if you at the Netflix is a joke, like make a joke. But Tiffany, she's been having a rough time in terms of getting opportunities. A lot of her movies was getting pulled. So I think she's trying to reach out to the God Bless America crowd, and they don't want her either. So she gotta figure something out. Punching down ain't really gonna work, but that's some people's comedy, but it's not really my brand.
Yeah, I definitely agree. When I saw it was definitely cringeworthy, especially because I thought maybe this was like at another event, but then when I learned that this is like, oh, this is the Netflix is a Joke fest, it definitely was like, I don't know. It just didn't land. It didn't land well. Marcus, I want to start this second part with you because I think it's important for us to have the facts on exactly what we're seeing. But before doing so, I want to take a look at Tiffany's response because she would actually talk to TMZ to talk about exactly what she meant. Let's take a look.
I think if they're going to protest for one place, they should protest for all the places that are having genocide happen. How many black people got to die before we can get a protest? Who built that damn college you protesting at? Hello? If you want to protest, protest. But if you really want to be effective and make change, go up to your senator, call your council, call the people that go to Congress. Who make the laws, who make the change. You at college and you blocking other people who work their whole lives to go to school. Already, most of them missed their graduation because of the pandemic. Now they gonna miss it because you out here protesting? Really be effective. Running around with a trash can shield is not gonna change nothing. But what will change is if you get your education, you get yourself in office. You go and talk to those people that are in office. Y'all are college students, you could go ask the whole court, do an interview just like you're doing right now. Yeah. And be effective and say your piece. Letters are powerful. Right. Write a letter. Right. Call your congressman's office. Call your senator's office. Delegates that's right. Over that region for America. Because it say America all in and throughout Israel. When I was there, I saw a whole bunch of signs that said American National Heritage Park. Right. So who's over that? Talk to them.
Now, Marcus, as I mentioned, I want to come to you. One of Tiffany's main points that she stated was that she feels that, protests at schools aren't effective. I want to get your thoughts. Do you agree with that statement?
Nah, she's just kind of making it up. I don't really want to take her serious on this because she don't know what she's talking about. I don't know why she's doing it. But no, protests have been effective. The student encampments have not been violent, so they have a shield because they're being attacked. So white supremacists all across the country and Zionists who are often the same people. But yeah, a lot of schools have been successful. A lot of students have been successful in getting their universities to divest and to be more supportive of the students. So it is effective. Hopefully, when Tiffany writes her letters, maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll be effective too. So shout out to letters and delegates. I don't know what to say. Like, is she tweaking? I don't know what do you want me to say?
I agree with you, and that's why I chuckled a little bit because it didn't make sense. Two things can be true at once, and I think there was a comment that mentioned earlier where it's like, yeah, I get that people need to get to class, but at some point, like, there's gonna have to be a sacrifice somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
And to her point about, canceling graduations, the students don't have the power to cancel graduations. Universities are canceling graduations. And we saw this at USC where the valedictorian was told that she couldn't give the speech before fear for her. And the reality is they just didn't want to hear what she had to say. So if the issue is students doing work, I think her name is Adna Tabassum. If the issue is students doing work, she got all the A's. She got the highest A's, not just the A's, the super A's. She skipped all the parties. She did all the things and then came to graduation to get her graduation because you're right, COVID, they didn't get it. And now she can't do it. So like, I don't know. People just running their mouth is one thing. I like running my mouth. That's why I'm here. I enjoy it. And at the same time, like if you really are committed to something, you kind of have to meet with people, talk to folks, get in a conversation because it's very clear that whoever she's talking to don't really know what the fuck they're talking about.
Absolutely. And we've seen far too long how right the students have been when we're talking about which side of history they've landed on. Danielle, let me bring you in to get your thoughts here as well. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with Tiffany's stance that protests at schools aren't effective?
I can't say that. My only question is when a protest happens and there's some resolve afterwards, how long does the resolve take? Like, how long? Are you just doing this to put a Band-Aid on it? When schools do need a what's the word I'm looking for? A median
revolution.
With student. Yeah. How long does it last? Because sometimes some people tend after protest, give them a year or two, and they fall back into the same habit. So that is always my question. Like, how long is this gonna last now? Are you just doing this because you want us to stop and you want us to go about on our normal day? And we saw that too. She mentioned protesting for Black people. I'm sorry, I don't live in the US. I know y'all like come in the comments and say, oh, this Caribbean girl don't live in the US, whatever. But we watched the Black Lives Matter protest and there was a lot going on there. And now today it's sort of like, okay, what happened after that? Like, what laws have been put in place to protect Black people in the United States? It's sort of like you have a high, and then when we want to hush, like calm everything down, we sit down, we give you promises. Some of those promises we may fall through on for a little while, and then afterwards, it's like it's thrown out the window. So that's my thought process on it.
Yeah, and one thing I always find interesting when it comes to issues, it's like people always criticize another person for doing something different because Marcus, and I don't know if you want to comment on this, some of the things that she mentioned about being active, in your community, knowing who to talk to, those things are important. However, I think we've had this conversation before, different parts of the body is what it's going to take for us to move forward. So somebody needs to protest. Somebody has to write the letter. Somebody has to have those meetings. We can't just decide that, because, and I'm just going to use a body as a reference, because you're the arm and I'm the leg, you're doing it wrong because you're doing it different than I am. What are your thoughts there, Marcus?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. And I think one of the bigger picture problem of what we're seeing is not about Tiffany Haddish, it's about the absence of civic engagement in our community. So we've been taken away from spaces where we used to come together and have these conversations, which is why Comedy Hype is such an important platform, because we can't have these conversations in a way that allows us to make some progress, right? So Tiffany Haddish is having an ahistorical conversation. She's having a conversation that doesn't actually pay attention to the demands that the students are making. She's having a conversation that isn't thinking about how there are many faculty across the university joining these demonstrations. So not knowing what's actually happening is a function of a whole bunch of things that's happening in our society, but all of them are really telling us that having an opinion about something is more important than knowing what you're talking about. And that's fine for a lot of us, but for those of us for whom that's not the case, and that doesn't necessarily mean people in college per se. I know a lot of people who are not in college who are doing even more work in different communities, trying to get housing rights, trying to get education rights, trying to get the ability to live in a neighborhood because rent's too damn high, right? Like, it's not about being in college or not being in college. It's about, if you're serious about this, be engaged. Don't talk about it in a bad stand-up. Like, tighten your jokes up. If your joke's not good, cool. Don't punch down at Black people.
No, Marcus, and I will say that's why we wanted to make sure you were here today, so that it's not just an opinion-based show where we're not talking about this, but we're able to provide facts. Now, there's more footage that I actually want us to take a look at, because Tiffany Haddish would kind of give some insight as to why she's going on this rant, if you will. And I want to come back and ask a question because I've seen a lot of tweets. So let's take a look at this new footage.
Circumcised. It's a gang of Mexicans too. Did you know the Catholic Church is there, bitch? Every single religion. I was there, they was making tacos off the side of the road on my way to Motherf Jerusalem. Palestinians was there, and they was telling me what it's like over there in Gaza, how hard it is to be from there. And I said, damn, it sounds like you describing South Central LA on 10, bitch. It was crazy. And I'm very upset about the whole thing. I want there to be peace. And us over here causing turmoil over here don't create peace. You know what create peace? Go over there, protest today, parliament today. I don't even know what kind of judicial, but I don't give a f. I was trying to go find God because a bitch over here got troubles here. I'm trying to find God. The holiest place on earth. There's a rock there. Every religion has built a temple around this rock. The Jews just got the wall. That's it. There's 3 churches.
Now, I want to add this quote because when this video was posted, she also said during this time, she said, they're not paying me for this show, so I'm going to just express myself. Now, I want to read some comments first, and then Danielle, I'm coming to you to get your thoughts. So one user said, her downfall is crazy, but deserved. She did a lot of goofy spit, Slim. Another user said, I have never seen someone crash out so bad for so long. Another user asked the question, is Tiffany okay? Danielle, I saw your face while that was playing, so I'd love to get your thoughts, but also too, what do you think? Do you think Tiffany is kind of rolling out of her career? Do you think this is the end of Tiffany?
Like, what? Like, I don't even understand. Hey, so I guess what she's trying to do in this stand-up is take the Dave Chappelle approach as to expressing her feelings on issues, and that is bringing it to her stand-up, which it's your art. Whatever you do inside the entertainment field, it is your art, is the way that you express yourself. So she's right about that. This is the way that I'm expressing myself. But the way that she's doing it, I confused. And I think that's what's causing people to lean to the notion that she is crashing out. I don't think she's gripped onto as yet what her stand-up style is. I think she's still trying to find herself. I saw an interview this morning. I didn't really go into it, but she was on the Breakfast Club talking about how she's refrained from sex and she's refrained from alcohol and she's trying to get herself together. So I think maybe she should stick on that path and work on her craft behind closed doors and then come back. Because I think right now, with all that went on with her, let's be honest, and I've always come with these 360 thoughts. Y'all, please excuse me. I just would look at things from other people's perspectives. With all that was going on with her, I don't think she's taken the time to really gather herself. So that's why she's ruling out. She needs to do that. That's what she needs to do, and then come back. Come back. Maybe say your material to other people first. And maybe she is, but she just ain't listening to the criticism. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but she needs to take a step back. She does.
Marcus, let me bring you in on this. What are your thoughts? Do you think maybe, Tiffany is the wrong person, the wrong messenger to have this type of conversation on a stage like that?
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with Tiffany. I just think what she's saying is very driven by something other than what's a reality. So I don't know why she's saying that. I don't know what her motivation is. I would love for folks to get on stage and talk about the International Court of Justice saying that it's plausible that Israel has committed acts that violate the Geneva Convention or the Genocide Convention. That would be great. I saw, what's the dude? Macklemore just put out a whole song about it. That was cool. I wish it made it into the Drake Kendrick beef. But at the end of the day, like, she can say whatever she wants. I think Danielle made a great point. Like, she can say whatever she wants on her platform. She has that platform. She built that platform. She's earned that space and that right to talk about it. It's just not funny. It's just not funny. And if you want to make a joke about it, cool. Like, make it funny. But in the meantime, there's gonna be some people out here doing the work, as we say.
Absolutely. Well, as always, Marcus, I appreciate you for doing the work that you're doing and also for just bringing the facts here. Danielle, thank you for joining in on this topic as well. Now, Marcus, since it's been a while since you've been on, I have to let the people know what you have going on. And of course, how can people keep up with you?
Yeah, we're working on No Capital with Comedy Hype. So excited to get that going. Doing some work with Howard University TV. Before You Vote segment that we're working on. So we're going to be rolling that out pretty soon. I got a whole bunch of academic book stuff and grants and stuff, but feel free to follow me. I'm at Prof MBJ on pretty much every site, and marcusboard.com is my website. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Danielle, coming over to you, Miss Lady. The backdrops, when we have tough conversations, I can just look to your screen and I'm like, okay, you know what, after, let me just take a breather and look at your backdrop in the Bahamas. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people keep up with you?
I didn't say this in the beginning, but I want to say it now. I'm so happy to be on with Marcus. Such a pleasure to be on with you. The only thing they told me, Marcus, was Tiffany Haddish, and I had to brace myself. So going into this, like, I had to make sure my mind was open because Tiffany is the wildin' king. So yeah, nice seeing you, Marcus. And congratulations on all that you're doing as well. What I have coming up is, of course, Comedy Hype Tuesdays. Make sure watch the channel. There's content that is always being pushed out that's good for your soul, gets your brain percolating, and then please make you laugh too. Like, we do that naturally. We don't be trying that. We do this naturally. Also too, our news, Bahamas. Make sure you follow the page on Instagram, on Facebook, also YouTube. I'm an entertainment and lifestyle reporter for the news outlet here. And then, of course, you can follow me on Instagram at D.A. Miller, Facebook, Danielle, D-E-N-I-E-L-L-E, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, D-E-N-I-E-L-L-E. And that's it.
Well, again, thank you both for joining me in on this topic, but you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What do you guys think of Tiffany Haddish's latest criticism over college campus protesters? Do you agree with her? Let us know in the comments below. And stay up to date with the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel. Check out Hypers Club for all your cool and original merchandise and content. And for our YouTube viewers, if you like this story, send us a super thanks by hitting the button below, and you can tip us what you want to show your support. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Did y'all enjoy that? We got so much more for you at hypersclub.com. Our exclusive interviews and backstage content gives you the chance to feel a part of the club. Come on and join.